through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through.
Good morrow, mysterious strangers, and welcome to Fumble Through.
Fumble Through.
A podcast that spent 50 episodes doing a less than satisfactory job patrolling a city, or as I like to call it, doing a half century. That's right, rollers of polyhedral joy. Today marks the 50th time that we've had the privilege of having you at our table to play this wonderful game that is slowly consuming our lives, one dice at a time.
Except for you, it's 2 dice at a time.
Well, only because in real life I've been misfortuned. And that means only one thing. Pretty soon we turn 1. And I tell you, it'll be really nice when both Luke and Lindsay stop wearing nappies to the table. I get that it means you don't have to get up to go to the bathroom, but it's pretty weird. Speaking of things that need to be dropped off at the pool, Lindsay.
So today's challenge for following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and any other social medias is I want to hear everyone's favorite moments of this year. It's getting to the end of the year.
Oh yeah, we turn 1. We'll do a bit of. I mean, I'm planning that our 50-second episode should be a best of.
Oh no, I was going to say I was literally saying I want to avoid the clip show.
Oh no, I want a clip show. I want to
so
do
I was
a
going to
clip
let
show.
everyone else do a clip show.
So
their
best bits. How would you like them to submit those best bits?
Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
In video format, audio format, or written format?
Oh, I actually would love to see some video format, but whatever you guys.
Can they reenact their favourite bits of our
Reenact
show?
your favourite moment.
I cannot
from
wait to see what
Fumble
happens
Through.
with this now.
I would love to see us built out of Lego and then reenact the
Yes.
Lego pieces.
Stop animation.
Stop animation.
Nice.
Some claymation Muppets. If
Puppets.
if anyone makes a Muppet that reenacts their favorite moment of Fumble Through, we will get you guest starring on an episode.
So I'm going to blame the brewing company from Tasmania, the Last Rights Brewing Company that made this Don't Make Me Run, I'm Full of Raspberries Dark Stout, because there is something in
good.
this that have made Brett and Lindsay go nuts.
This is
Yeah,
such a good drink,
6.8
though.
percent alcohol. So
2 standard drinks in 1 small can. Oh, so good,
They have
though.
gone nuts, and Lindsay's face is red and he's
It's
sweating.
like a Bavarian chocolate cake in a can.
It is very warm in here.
It is. It is.
That's Australia, mate.
Yeah.
why aren't you wearing your singlet?
Oh, please no.
I can
Brett,
take
can
my
you put a shirt on?
I thought you had a black shirt on.
No,
You
that's
guys-
hair. That's his hair shirt.
I still got the
Yeah.
mo from Movember. I just moved it down a bit.
Did you think he was doing a Da Vinci Code thing?
I wondered when we were doing Movember if I could grow down into my chest hair and then
mate.
do
I have
that one.
seen someone who's done grown the mutton chops and they've shaved it into the neck.
Yeah.
And then they've shaved the chest. So it's just like, what's it? Not mutton
Disgusting is what it is. I think that's the
Handlebar.
word you're looking
It sounds
for.
itchy.
chops.
That
Handlebar
just
that goes
sounds
all the way
itchy.
down.
Yeah.
And then it parts around the nipples and keeps going.
I just can't get the right tools to shape it so well.
I have a whip snip you can borrow.
And
Not strong enough.
by
He
2
needs a
o'clock,
laser.
by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's all back again, so it doesn't really matter.
Brett once went to a laser hair removal and they went, no, we don't have one strong enough.
We don't have the Death Star in
Dr.
today.
Evil
Hello,
turned
Mr. Bond.
Scorpio, you're pretty mad.
Batman's tied to a table, getting cut in half. No, not strong enough. So, put on that headband and start doing your mental calisthenics because it's time for us to get our brains into gear and answer this week's dicey question. As I was in a very nostalgic mood, this question came to me in an effort to find out more about the people we are and the life adventure that brought us here to the table of imagination. Not that I really want to know more about you, but here we go. When did you realize that you were a geek or a nerd?
Oh, hello.
There has to be a defining moment in your life where you actually went, you know what? I'm interested in this stuff. I like this stuff. I'm going to stop pretending that I'm not. I'm going to stop pretending I'm something else. And this is it.
I don't think for me it was when I realised what I liked and what I didn't like. I think for me it was when I realised at school that I wore shorts where you can see my testicles very, very clearly. And then I watched a movie called Attack of the Geeks or something, and that's what they looked like. And I was like, oh, that's me.
As a side note, Brett was at school till he was 37. Old man balls.
They're hanging out short shorts at gym.
He didn't even have a blue card.
I reckon it was probably some point in high school when someone kept going, nerd!
Really? You had that experience at high school?
Primary school? Or school? I don't know. Last week?
Did you have people calling you out at
Oh,
school?
yeah, for sure.
Did you have a group of people with you that
I-
were kind of a nerd group, or was it just you? Because that's sad.
Wow. No, I was very much the outsider where I liked bits of pieces of things that different people would like. So I watched a bit of anime, but I was not a super weeb that I'd fit in with the wheelie anime weebs. And I was into games. but-
Sorry, did you just say the wheelie animated
He
weed?
did. He did. It was very cool.
I really
know
did.
what that meant. Thank you.
What, you don't know what weeb means?
No.
I'll explain it later. But yeah, so there was always kind of that disconnection where I didn't really have one group that I fit in. I'd just go do whatever I wanted that period of day of school. I was leaving at one point.
You tape it out like Justin talks just then.
Yeah.
I just knew
You just-
day, school.
I just realized how,
word.
His brain shut down.
I realized how sad it does actually
Overheated.
sound. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm married. I have a kid. I've had sex.
Oh, shit.
Why
Good
is
sex.
why
Hang on a second. I'm married. I've got 2 kids. I haven't had sex.
why is that a defining factor for nerds? Are they like
I've been with a woman.
I would say I'm a geek, right? Have you seen the Venn diagram of geek, nerd, dweeb?
No.
I'll have to post it on the socials.
Okay.
To be a nerd, you
Is
have
it just
to be,
one circle?
No.
Okay.
But to be a nerd, you're meant to be socially inept, and I don't think I am
Right,
quite
yep.
socially inept.
Okay.
You know who would say something like that?
someone
Somebody
who's socially
inept.
Wow. Fuck you both.
He's so angry.
Oh, I'm Justin. I go to the gym and pretend I'm a jock. I'm Luke. I do taekwondo to compensate for my short leg.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Wow.
Come on.
I did not
Keep going.
realize that this was going to
Keep
bring
going.
this
You
up
didn't
when
follow
I
me on
asked
the
the
Wow,
question.
short leg. I can't help having a massive cock.
One other quick follow up, if I could, Lindsay. Tell me about your mother.
He's going to smash stuff like Kylo Ren. He just
I do think you're right, though. I don't think we're nerds. I think we're geeks. I think that's
What is
more-
the
a
technical
more
difference?
Well, I think
it sounds nicer.
geeks are proficient with popular culture and technology. Nerds are that, but can't explain it to people.
Okay. Right. So it's a all around articulating the actual.
I think
space we
it's
operate.
like Lindsay was trying to articulate just before, but he couldn't because he's a nerd.
All right, so is that the questions over? We've delved into these dark past. We can just move on.
No. When's for you guys? Let's go.
I think I was around. It was either 11 or 12. I remember buying, going to Games Workshop and buying a high elf dragon, and it was back in the days when miniatures were made of lead, and gluing it together with
Kissing it.
two-part epoxy resin, and waiting for like 4 hours for it to set.
So
And
you
just,
were high at the time.
constantly fucking checking it, like when is it ready? When is it ready? When is it ready? So I was like, I could paint it.
High at
Oh,
the
I was,
time.
yeah.
Off the
It was
fumes,
a very
licking the
spiritual
lead.
experience. Yep.
Cracking it out of its asbestos mold.
Talk about
The
riding the
chairs were
dragon.
talking to me. It was a magical moment. It's a little bit like Fantasia, actually, if I'm honest. A lot of movement, a lot of colours. Yeah. I
How old were you?
think it was 11 or 12.
Okay.
How can you afford a dragon at 11 and 12?
They weren't the back then. They weren't even that big. They were like around about 5 inches, and it was
Right.
a very small. Like now they're massive and
Yeah.
like very highly priced, but back
Right.
then it was like 10 quid.
When did you realise, Justin?
It's not that I realised that I was a nerd. It's when I fell into it and said I'm not going to stop this. I mean, I have been collecting toys my entire life and I never stopped. I remember having Ninja Turtles in high school and collecting all of them and then having them on shelves. I remember making stuff in shop class and putting all my action figures out there. But I also remember very distinctly wanting to be a rock star, growing my hair long, listening to grunge, doing all that kind of stuff. But I got to a point where I'd been collecting comics for years. I'd finished high school, had long hair, and I went, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to talk about it to everybody I know. And I'm not going to hide it anymore. That was the turning point for me. It wasn't that I realized I was a nerd. It was the fact that I just went, nah, fuck it. This is who I am. And I'm loud and proud about it. And I've been out ever since.
I think it's a big part. You can be a nerd, but you can also have multiple parts of yourself. So I've always had a nerd. I love the story part of this. I love the story part of high fantasy. I love the magic part of it. I wasn't a collector. That was never part of what I did. Amazingly, looking around the room, that wasn't me, right? And I did gymnastics and I did sport, and I could float from group to group to group at school. I was never in one. I had a lot of female friends. So I wouldn't say I was a geek or a nerd, but I had a very strong geek or nerd part of me that I could ramp up or ramp down whenever I wanted to. Certainly in drama class, it came out.
That was the most embarrassing moment.
As did I.
Is it because you were in those short shorts?
Well, yeah. And I was 32 and
and doing lunges.
Hello, ladies. No, I think, I've always gone, there's a group of my friends that are very much more nerdy than my other friends, but I don't do sport anymore, but I used to. I played touch football. I was a manly man and a geekly man and a story man and a fatherly man. I think we can be all the bits at once, Justin. Don't try and minimize me to one thing.
Well, I think that's one of the things that is in this more generation is more acceptable. Like, I don't think and I'm surprised if the way you guys were saying that, I'm the only one that had to, fight to be, it's fine to be a geek or a nerd, because I don't think that is as much as a stigmatism as it seemed to be in the 80s.
Very mainstream. Though.
I think you watch a remake of 21 Jump Street and it's like, oh, you got to one strap your bag and blah, blah, blah. And then they go to school. Nowadays, it's like, no, double strap your bag, you idiot. You'll get a bad back. Or you get people know more. They can be more accepting and they can be open to much more, then it's not stereotypical like we used to see.
But also it's what you could access, because back in those days, you had to seek out certain things. Like to buy comic books, I had to go to the newsagent every week. I had to go and make an effort to do that, to go and find a fantasy or a sword and sorcery movie at a video shop or a DVD shop. You had to go, and then you had to ask and go, do you have this? And then sometimes the guy'd go, no, and you go, can you get it for me, please? That kind of thing. It just wasn't there.
Mm.
So, and it's interesting, 20 years post Lord of the Rings, everything that I've loved that I thought was that I used to have to hide has become now the mainstream popular, like the Lord of the Rings, the Marvel movies, all of that.
I can't believe the Lord of the Rings was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's huge.
That blows my mind.
So we were cool before cool was cool.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that everyone's jumped on the bandwagon now either, actually. I liked it when it was back in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm going back to just listening to rap music and being cool.
Why did you like it back then?
I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot.
You had a thing of your own?
No. I just think there's a lot of, I don't know, people that aren't really committed.
Oh, they're in it just because it's the cool thing to do.
Right, yeah.
They're not true.
Yeah, there's a level of...
you fly-by-nighters.
That's right, yeah.
With new Spider-Man movie just come out, people don't know who Spider-Man is.
Have we not had enough of those fucking Spider-Man movies?
Oh, fucking hell, Luke. If we have to get into this one more time.
So no one knows who Spider-Man is. You ask them who Spider-Man and no one knows them. And it's true.
I'm fucking walking out. Play your own damn game.
I was telling my kids for a while, you've got to get through the Spider-Man movies. And then I realized there's such a character as that. And I was like, oh, yeah, look it up. Go and look it up. It's good. He's a good character. Swarm traits.
You see the program Stress
Peter
Eric?
Porker. He's a real character. Look him up.
Guarantee there is a kid.
He's in a movie.
He's in a movie.
He's in the Spider-Verse
mainstream.
movie.
He too, mainstreamed. Yeah.
There are sometimes I regret asking questions.
I thought that was a good deep dive.
It was a deep dive till you all started picking on Spider-Man.
There are some.
I wasn't picking on Spider-Man.
Don't worry.
Spiders-Man.
Don't worry,
Spiders-Man is when Peter Parker fell into a group of spiders and they ate him. And they all assume his consciousness. So it's a swarm of spiders who take on his body.
If we're going to go down this deep dive, Spider-Man has some of the worst storyline comic book tropes to do things. Like the time when they wanted to give him organic spider thingies like out
I
of
like how we were teasing
Tobey
around
Maguire.
a little bit. Lindsay's going all out offensive.
Toby Maguire, you know how he had the organic web shooters. I wanted to give him. So Peter Parker mutated into a giant like spider monster and then died and hatched out of the corpse of the giant spider monster.
Can I just say,
Exactly like himself, but with
you and Brett are talking about the same fucking moment in Spider-Man's history.
Are we?
That was
What?
when all the spiders fucking ate him and he was in a fucking cocoon. Yes, it's the same time with Ezekiel, guys. If you want to look it up, it's a whole thing.
Oh, I just saw a meme on the internet.
I
Jason,
would
don't
if
know
I
about.
cared.
What about
Yeah.
the time?
It's the same
What
moment.
about the time? This is another stupid one. That Mary Jane got cancer from having exposure to Spider-Man's radioactive semen.
I think that's
Is that a
probably
true
quite
one?
medically
Because I've
accurate,
never
right?
found that comic, but
Is
apparently
he
it
radioactive
exists.
though? He's not radioactive, is he?
According to the theme song, he's radioactive Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
From
Not
the
even original.
90s.
I mean, the Hulk was radioactive. He fucking
No, that was gamma radiation.
But still
Fuck.
radioactive. Radiation. What the fuck?
Oh, it is hot in here and now we're getting angry. There's got to be a flip table, some kind of... Anyway, I'm going to get this show back on the
So
track.
it's 3d6 times 6.
I just want to bring us back to this storyline right now because we're at a pivotal point. There comes a time of ebbs and flows in storylines where you get to BBEGs, you get to that big bad guy at the end, and we're close to that. You guys have been in this slaughterhouse for a long time, probably in real time for your characters. It's been about an hour. But for us sitting at the table, what have we been in here for? 10 episodes, maybe?
Forever.
Can I take you to task for that?
What?
Because we did like 30 episodes was one night.
Yep.
Now 10 episodes in 1 hour. What's you with this temporal kind of squish it all in?
I like to live every moment. Every moment.
Quarter mile at a time.
But it has been a long journey, and you guys haven't really had the time to sit back, rest. You're in pretty beat up shape. Like, I'm making this assumption without your character sheets in front of me, but I assume that you guys are pretty tapped out. You're low on spells, you're low on bombs, you're low on resources at this point.
I just reprint every game session. So it's-
Oh, well, then you get it all back
Yeah.
then. So, and we are getting to the end here. So I am a little bit worried about what's to come here, because all it's going to do is mean that I have to kill you all, and then I get to run a podcast that's just me talking in different character accents by myself.
You keep saying that, but you haven't done it yet. You haven't killed anyone yet.
oh, but he has talked pretty much in different character accents all by himself for a long period of
Yeah,
time.
and you know how much I love that.
I think you're right, Justin. Flopsy's very tapped out. He's started to get into his consumables, which he doesn't like because that means his level of resources dropping low. I think he's most concerned. Yes, we've been a long time here. He's most concerned that there's no treasure to be picked up on the way to replace the bombs and the consumables that he's expending right now. And 5 GP a week don't cut it.
Yeah. I mean, we are spent. I'm out of spells. I've got health, and I've still got some potions and stuff. But what are we meant to do? Like, leave and come back tomorrow? That's not what police do. You don't go, okay, I've taken out 6 cops. Let's six. Go for that again.
That's not what police do.
Okay.
Not the
Taking
kind
out
that we are
6
anyway.
bank robbers. We're going to come back tomorrow and do it again. You know, that's not what you do. We're in an investigation here.
You push through. Well, I guess my point is that I am concerned about what's going to happen, and I guess that comes with as a GM with a warning of you guys need to kind of figure it out. So, are you saying that bomb that you just pulled the ogre down, that bomb was a consumable, or is that one of your?
That was an alchemist fire. I don't make those.
Okay, so that's one of your consumables.
That costs me money every time
All
I
right,
throw
it's
one.
not always about the money, Flopsy. It doesn't
On the
always have to
plus
be about the
side.
money.
I can summon 31 dogs.
That's my dog.
I have
Right.
31 charges of my wand.
That's true. But they last for 2 rounds.
1 round.
Right, great.
Yep.
You can
So
not at
basically
once.
one dog.
You've got
31
31
times.
Yeah.
31 rounds of dog.
31 bite attacks.
31 dogs. Yeah.
31 rounds of dog.
Yep.
So everything that I would get replaced back tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
would I rest, is gone.
So that brings us to where we go. You guys have find yourselves in a corridor, the same corridor that you've been in now for, I think, 4 different episodes that we've recorded. You have been in this same crossroads. You started off here when you spoke to Vern the first time. You came into his office. You messed with his stuff. He wasn't happy with you. You've gone through this entire area. You've looked through, you've taken out some goblins, you've taken out a necromancer, you've taken out an ogre, some dogs,
Zombies.
Verned, you've taken out. So it really goes to show what is left here. And that is exactly the moment when you're standing in this corridor with this beast that has fallen to the ground. You can still hear the echoes and the dust settling. And we zoom in onto the 4 of you just standing there panting, out of breath a little bit.
How are we feeling? Anyone hurt?
No, I'm fine. You guys looked like you were getting the shit kicked out of you, though.
I didn't get touched.
I'll be all right.
Yeah. Wow, that was less dramatic than I thought it was.
Sloaney, how are you doing?
Sacre bleu, I got healed a little bit from Reggie. He did a good job.
Good. So, I don't know what this creature is. Anyone know what this creature is? There's a room in there we haven't investigated. There's someone else. Are we carrying on? Or are
We
going
have to keep going. We can't leave.
I'm done with this place. We got it. Let's get it done. Is the gnome still with us, right?
No, we
No, he's
released
gone,
the
eh?
gnome to the
That's right,
cows.
sorry.
The cows
Yeah.
ate him.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, that was right. The cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
Can I make a knowledge check on this?
On what?
The creature?
Yeah, sure.
What do I need?
That would be knowledge local.
Oh, damn it.
Why don't I do a check and see what I can see?
Well, you asked me to, Flopsy. You just said, what is this creature? And I was going to tell you, but apparently I can't.
You've forgotten for a minute.
15, Justin, anything?
On a 15, you know that this is an ogre. It's a large ogre. He looks old for his type. So he's grey. He looks a bit gnarled. He doesn't look like he's in the prime of his life at all. He looks like he's been here for a little while. He's got that greasy kind of stain of somebody who's been stirring big pots for a little while. But yeah, ogre is about as much as you can see.
Sorry, there is a room in there full of gas, and we haven't explored the other rooms down there. We think, Vern's office is there right for the fucking up with. We've got to move some shit around in there before we move on.
Yeah, that's true.
While you are standing in the corridor, just make a perception check for me, please.
We did hear him tap to someone as well.
There was a voice, right?
Reggie gets 16.
15 for Flopsy?
That's
9 for Miles.
Oh, Miles is usually at the upper end of
No,
that.
that's
kind
where
of
Miles
perception.
sits in.
Oh, around the 9s?
Yeah.
Okay, I must be wrong. It's been a while. You guys are all standing there when you see coming from the corridor from whence you guys came. So you came up those stairs and you walked past a couple of offices near where Vern's office is. Coming from that end of the corridor, you see a man. Well, not even a man. A humanoid figure steps out into the corridor. You can see a rope in his hand that's trailed off around the corner a little bit as that landing area is a bit larger and around the corner from where you can.
How far away is he?
There's at this point, he would be 30, 40, 50 feet away. This hulking half-orc steps menacingly into view, giving you a clear view of a stained and worn city watch uniform that he's wearing. You can see that it's tattered in places. It's been well worn. It is old, and it's in an older style of the guards.
Does it look like it was his?
It looks like it fits him very well, and he's been wearing it. You can see.
Does he look like somebody that I maybe have heard
No,
mentioned? Or-
he
okay.
certainly isn't a familiar person to you. You can see that on his head there is a guard's hat, which sits almost comically oversized on top of his head, and it's badly covering something misshapen that bulges awkwardly underneath. He grips a large great axe with both hands as he surveys the scene in front of you, and he opens his mouth and he says, "I see that you are more adamant in your journey to die than I gave you credit for. Know this, what you have done here today will not stop us from achieving our goals. You killed my dogs, an act that saddens me. You killed my brother, an act that tears my heart. But you killed my best friend, and for that you will feel my anger, and in Kuzig's name I will strive for vengeance. You see, even though you think you might have won here today, you have not. All of us, even the necromancer witch downstairs, have given our lives freely for a greater cause. We have already summoned Skelsgig, who even now feasts on the fetid remains of that which you call a city. Your pitiful watch, a shell of its former self, full of ruffians, racists, and buffoons, will not be able to stop us. The darkness is coming, and soon it will have more power than you can ever imagine. Even should we perish, our rewards will be great. And with that, you see him grab the rope with one hand, and he pulls. And you can hear a door creak open, and footsteps come out. As you're watching, small creatures, also in guards' uniforms in the old style, start to shamble around that corner. Just make a perception check for me.
So
You might want to do a knowledge check, Kana.
Was it the orc speaking?
Yeah.
With the voice of
Similar to Vern.
yeah.
Yeah, my brother. He said you call Vern a brother.
Oh right, gotcha. Yeah.
And I'm assuming Kuzig is the ogre on the floor.
Yep, cool.
Can I say that, except it would make for really shitty listening, when a bad guy starts monologuing, it's really hard not to just go, sleep strike!
Yeah, it's a cutscene. I always think of that like a
Yeah,
cutscene in
Me
a video
too,
game.
but it's really, I'm really itching to do it.
If Flopsy just sits there going, keep talking.
Yeah.
Come on, keep talking. It's a 23 on a knowledge arcana.
Nice.
Knowledge Arcana. Your Knowledge Arcana is part of this check. You also see, you've seen this before, but you see a whole heap of kobolds just shamble around the corner. Each of these kobolds
Shambling.
is that same kind of zombie kind of look that you have seen before. Each one of them wears an old watch uniform, almost like a pantomime of the watch themselves. You can see someone strapped a spear to one. You can see a shield has been strapped to the back of the others, and all of them have like words written on them like guard number 1 or stupid guard number 2 as they filter out into the corridor themselves. I just need you guys right now to give me an initiative.
Yeah, Flopsy, if you got any of those bombs left,
All out.
Reggie gets 19 on the. Oh, hang on, sorry, 15 on the initiative.
Flopsy,
19.
Miles.
Not good. 11.
Ooh.
Tasty.
I rolled a 13 for Saloni.
For Saloni, thank you very much. So this guy comes out, says this monologue, opens the door. These zombie kobolds kind of move out
How
with
many?
guards, and there seems to be a big chunk of them. You can see like a small sort of horde of them. What are you guys going to do? Is anyone going to say something? Are you going to do anything?
Watch out behind you! And then let's run.
Miles is going to get the whistle, the guard's whistle that we got given.
What, your conch shell?
No, the whistle, and he's going to start freaking blowing into that as he walks backwards.
Flopsy wants to keep the conversation going with this gentleman with the rope. Your name, good sir. We are here on lawful watch business. Put your hands up.
Is he still there?
Yeah,
Or
he's
is he
just
moving?
standing there as these zombies file past him like a wave. They
How far
don't.
away
They
are
don't
they?
seem to want to do anything to him at all. They just start moving around him, coming up the corridor. So you can see they have started to move.
Your name, good sir. Your brother, Vern, I assume. This thing, Kuzik at the floor. Tilly, gone. You are all alone here. Put your hands up. Restrain your creatures. This does not need to come to blows. Skelsig is no more. You have some disappointment in your future. How far away are they?
He's about 55 feet away from you.
And the kobolds behind him?
They're coming around here. Yeah, they're circling, measuring around.
I need to ask a couple of questions, Justin. We're on a walkway. Is it suspended over something?
No, you're in a corridor. You're just in
corridor.
a
It's
hall.
a
You're in a
okay.
hallway.
Sorry, I thought we came upstairs. It was a walkway.
No,
above.
it's that
a
same
second floor. Okay.
corridor with all the rooms.
Okay, and the room that the ogre came out of was full of gas,
It was misty. It's less gas than more like a
steamy.
boily, steamy kind
Okay.
of room.
And how fast are the kobolds moving?
It's hard to tell at the moment. They've just appeared.
I've just seen them. Okay. I think if we get back into that room behind us and hold them at the door, at least it's one by one then,
I gotcha.
and moves back to the door 10 feet past the door.
So you so you do a full move around through into the door where the ogre came from. Is
That's
that what
right.
you're talking?
Yep.
Okay, so you see Flopsy move up the corridor, leaving bloody footprints, walking straight over an ogre into the door where the ogre came out of. As he opens it, you can see steam go. Psh.
He'd like to do a proper look around in that room, see if there's anything useful.
Mm-hmm. This room has 2 big stone vats which dominate. Each of them are suspended over a pit with a low fire that burns under them, heating the vats up. The sound of bubbling liquid fills the room itself as the strange mixture comes out with a really pungent odor. The steam from the vats and smoke form a huge obscuring mist inside the room itself. The room smells awful. Like if any of you, most of you would probably be very familiar with this smell of a tannery. This is them curing hides. So this is them boiling the hides from downstairs in an attempt to render them so they can cure them into skins.
Is it possible to push those vats over and pour them on kobolds?
Each of those vats is about 15 feet wide. They are
yes.
huge. So an ogre, like it took an ogre to be stirring the big vats. They're massive, massive things.
And there's lit fires underneath them?
They are definitely have lit fires underneath.
Anything else useful in the room?
No, the room is really, there's tables at the back with tools on them, I guess, but the tools would be scraping tools and the things that you would use to get the fats off of and skim the fats from these vats. There is a hole sort of at the back where you think maybe they pour all the skimmed fat off, and that you can kind of get a sense with your intelligence that goes downstairs into those pits with the green slime in them. So this is directly above those pits.
But no dumbwaiter here.
There is no dumbwaiter, but the elevator would be off this room if you thought so.
So in this corridor, how high is the wall?
10 foot.
If I'm on the ceiling, are the cables going to be able to reach me?
If you're on the ceiling,
Yeah.
Well, you would still be essentially it's a 10-foot high thing, so you still take up a bit of a space, and you would assume yes.
They can reach me,
Yeah.
even if I'm crouching.
If you're lying on the ceiling, probably
Lying,
not.
That's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
50 feet, you say?
Crouching Reg.
All right, Reg, what are you doing?
I'm going to delay for now, but...
All right. Saloni draws her swords, looks at you and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And she runs down the corridor towards this guy where the zombies are.
All right, now can I come out? Yeah.
Both swords out. She moves 30 foot down the corridor, at which point she stops and says, "What are you doing? We must do that. This is what I came for. It is him."
Okay, can I come out of delay? Yep. Okay, so I'm going to use those funky ass boots. I'm going to run up the wall as I'm running towards Saloni, so like, kind of Matrix style, like in the tunnel kind of thing.
Are you going the full way towards?
Well, I can only go 40 feet maximum speed.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of that, if we can draw a triangle, if you like, see how much of that gets taken up. Going up.
So 40 feet down brings you about 15 foot away from
but
this
I'm
guy.
on the wall.
Yep, but
Yeah.
you're sideways on the wall at that point. Miles, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to move until... So have the kobolds... Are they in front of this?
They have funneled out, so they're kind of around him, yes.
Okay. And she ran up to the kobolds.
No, she's stopped halfway down the corridor and kind of looks behind her at this time, notice that nobody's like doing anything, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, fuck. I'll move up 25 feet and misfortune one of the whoever's coming first.
Okay.
Saloni.
That is a will save of 10.
Fails.
Okay, so the first zombie gets misfortuned. All right, at which point it is time for the creatures all to have their moves. This is where it starts to get a little bit exciting. So I'm going to do the zombies first because they start moving 30 foot up the corridor.
You okay, Brett?
2. Then
I did call,
4,
come back into the room.
then 6.
Then Saloni legged it. I'm going.
I'm just going to bring you back to a question because I know that you're reacting to this, but I'm going to ask you this question. Why is Saloni here? What's her objective?
She's a Pathfinder Society, but it doesn't mean tactics. Go out the fucking door.
She has an objective here, and there was a very specific reason why she was here looking at this place.
Did she tell us it?
Yeah, she did. When Reg first found her in the bush.
actually
Saloni has specifically been tasked to find out why the hell the Watch are acting weird.
I have to ask this as well because I was talking about that episode in the bush.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck gave her something in the bush, and what did they give her?
It's a whole different
Do you want to take
conversation.
this
there.
one?
It's interesting you remember that piece of that same episode, which happened right next to there. But you had asked her, what is she doing here? And her answer to you was that she had been given, she's been investigating why the Watch are acting so bizarrely. So her whole reason for being with you right now is to figure out why the Watch are acting weird. And if you recall, you also heard the prisoner from downstairs. Anyone remember what his
Jorik.
name was? Jorik. Talk about
This guy was the guy that did all the damage on him
Mm-hmm. And
was the guard dressed up as a guardsman
yes,
and was acting out. I don't know, acting out like a guardsman, causing problems.
and had some way of
Yeah,
controlling people.
But you haven't even told us how many zombies because there's too many to count. So why would she go, I can fucking take zombies and
Also,
a
it
weird
doesn't mean just
necromancer?
because she needs to find out about what the problem is that she needs to run in there and kill the fucker. She can still have some tactical nows, come back to the door and deal with them one at a time because it's a 5-foot gap rather than getting swarmed by them. But she has forced our hand. We have not done so.
So let's do it.
At this point, the zombies start moving around this creature, this man in a uniform. 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10. Start filling up the corridor from side to side. You're about, you move 40 feet.
Yeah.
So they get to you, Reg, before they can get to Saloni, who's
Cool.
moved only 30 foot.
Cool.
So there's a 10-foot brace around, and they see you on the wall. One would try and stop and attack you on the
So
wall.
do I get my attack of opportunity?
You
as they
would.
close in?
Have you got your reach karma on?
Yep. Oh, that's not too bad. It's a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hit.
4 points of damage.
4. That's
Mhm.
not like you, Reg.
I know, right?
Also,
There we
remember
go.
you get multiple attacks of opportunity because you
I
have
have.
combat
I do.
expertise.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So the first zombie, this would be the same one that would have been misfortuned, comes past. He stops at the wall to try and get you, and a flood of zombies keep moving past you. You can take an attack of opportunity for each one that goes past. How many attacks of opportunity do you have?
I've just spent 1, so I should get another 3.
Okay, you get 3 attacks as 3 different zombies move past.
That's the same again. 21.
That'll hit.
5 points of damage on that one.
Wow.
Oh, that is a 23.
Hits.
2 points of damage for that lucky fellow. I got one more, right? And that is a 14 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay.
So the zombie, you hit the zombie, but when you actually hit the zombie, you are, it doesn't seem to do too
The
much
momentum of my
damage.
camera's kind of run out for that last
Yeah.
one. Eh?
So you guys at the back see this horde of zombies start shambling down, and Reg from the wall just starts swinging his arm around. You see sprays of blood coming from kobold after kobold as they come through. You can see him smashing parts of watch uniforms. Hats fly off, and the zombies keep coming in this horde. They move all the way up to Saloni, and 2 of them take a swing at Saloni at this point, and both of them miss, as we are then faced with the guy at the back. Looking down the corridor, this guy takes one look at you, Reg, and you can see him put his hand up to his forehead.
See, I had a moment coming up. Please don't fuck this up for me. Go.
He puts his hand to his forehead,
Right.
and something happens. Make a will save,
Will
please.
save, hey. Natural 20 on the dice.
Perfect.
A will save of 28.
Oh,
Boom.
saves a save. 20's a
Sorry, I was
save.
like, I can't believe I've just rolled 20 for that. That's perfect. I'll fuck my next action up. You watch.
So you feel something. Basically, it happens to your mind. You feel a fogginess to your brain, and you see like the blackness on the edge of your eyes starts to come towards, and you just shake it off, and then all of a sudden you kind of look down the corridor, and you feel almost a heat come from where you would have your watch band or the watch armband
Oh, okay.
or the insignia that's on your uniform. Something about that has aided whatever this guy has just done to you. But between you and him now, there is a huge row of zombies, a wall of flesh, one would say.
Is he talking's a free action, right? Can I take it now? Yeah. Guys, he's messing with your heads. Something to do with the badges.
Flopsy, round number 2.
Flopsy is very frustrated that no one retreated back to the room. And he's standing there all alone and knows that he can't be of any use back here, that wisdom and intelligence did not prevail in this action. All right, then, let's go down there and take him on head to head in the most obvious and fruitless way possible. No problem. So Flopsy walks down the corridor of 30 feet, mumbling and grumbling to himself, pulls out a lump of wax and casts a spell, squishing the wax in his hand and whispering into it. And around the man at the end of the corridor, you hear a huge sound of a dragon that lasts for a full 2 rounds, equal to the volume of 40 humans roaring at him. He can make a will save to disbelieve.
Okay, I believe he's going to fail that will save on a 7.
So effectively, it's ghost sound that lasts for 2 rounds, and it's there to try and discombobulate him, to make him feel like there's something around him that he doesn't know what it is, that perhaps it will distract him enough that he won't cast spells or use his mind affecting ability.
Okay, so the sound of a dragon comes from the end of the corridor, just...
And at that point, Flopsy will say to him, we did not come alone. There is a dragon down the corridor coming at you. Oh, that's a bit cocked. That's not so cocked at all. That's a 19 on a bluff check.
Yeah.
That would be versus a sense motive. Yeah, he kind of, you see him looking around, kind of trying to check between him and the space that is 15 foot behind him to the wall that is the external. Like he thinks something's coming up the stairs, and you can see that you've kind of shaken him a little bit. Saloni, she takes her rapiers out and she looks at the first of the
Zobolds. I like it. No, take it.
That's
Take it.
great.
Take it. Zobold.
So
It's better than combis.
So Saloni looks at these Zobolds, the zombie kobolds, and she walks down the corridor. She's going to just basically try to ignore them. She's not even going to give this any light, and she's going to try and tumble straight past. She's got her eye on the prize here of getting straight to this guy. She wants him, and that is the thing that she is focused on.
Tumble through.
Because you said it, Lindsay, you can roll it.
Fucking shit my pants then with that.
18.
An
Oh, good
18.
roll.
Oh, that is excellent.
That'll get her there.
All right. So this is a check getting past these zombies CMD.
How many of them?
There's quite a lot. However, I know for a fact that these zombies have a very low CMD. Saloni moves past, ducks, weaves, moves straight through this field of kobold zombies, getting all the way through the 5 ranks that are moving through, and she makes it to the end. And that is with me giving her a +2 for each one of those.
Oh, wow.
kobolds.
Does she present at the end like a gymnast?
That are there.
Hands up in the air?
Yeah, that was an excellent roll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like Buffy going through.
But in order to do that, she's used her entire movement to
Okay.
get there.
Is she base to base with
She has moved up into base to base
The-
with this guy.
unnamed man
Mm-hmm.
rudeness?
Reg, you're on the wall.
How far away am I
You
from
are
him?
almost surrounded by these zombies that are on the wall, and some of them have looked up to you and they're gnashing their teeth at you, trying to get to you. You've moved 40 feet, so you're about 15 feet away. You've watched Saloni move past
Okay,
you.
cool. So what Reg wants to do, and correct me if I can't do this, continue running, essentially charge. I'm going to launch off the wall, flying, kicking him in the face.
Mm-hmm. You can do that. You are going to provoke from these zombies, though.
Sure.
Okay. So
What do I need to do an acrobatics or a...
no, because you've got a run speed on the wall, right?
Yep.
Yep. So you're fine. First zombie is going to take an attack at you for a 20,
Okay, that'll hit.
and that is as high as we get. So one zombie actually just manages to claw
Was
up
that first zombie the one misfortune?
at you. Thank you, Lindsay. That is exactly the same zombie. 13.
It doesn't hit, no.
13. So all the other zombies roll terribly. They all attempt. You see these arms as Reg is kind of running along. I feel like this is that moment of Inception. You know, he's running along the walls, and these zombies like jumping up and down,
Nice.
and all of them miss you. Make your attack.
Okay. Wow. That was inspirational. 25 to hit. Rolled a 19.
Oh,
25 certainly does.
critical threat.
Is this a charge?
I
that
don't
you're
think it
doing?
is though with a natural weapon A because I'm flying kicking him.
It's not. I'll always say it though.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for that.
Is this a charge for you?
Yes.
Okay.
So that'd be a 27 to hit then. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
That's
Can I? Will I technically be flanking because Saloni's there or not?
No, because you're both coming from the same side.
Okay, cool. So that's 4 points of damage.
Ooh, massive
To the
amounts of
face.
damage. Massive amounts of damage.
Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat flying through the air.
Luke King.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Miles.
Okay, Miles seeing that what everyone's trying to do and hoping that somehow if we manage to take out this necromancer, maybe the zombies will just stop doing stuff. He is going to misfortune.
Ooh, okay. This could be touch and go. 16.
You got it.
That was misfortune, right?
Yeah.
He's still got a slumber to beat.
Yeah, not this round. And I cackle extending the hex on the
Nice.
On the zombies that are now have their sights upon you.
Why?
Why? Because you're up the corridor.
But they
You're
will
the-
just face the guys running back.
You're-
Such a
you're the
tasty
closest.
ogre on the floor.
So, boom, boom, boom. They're not even at the ogre yet. You guys are halfway down the corridor. This
I've passed the ogre 3 times already.
You have. Yeah, there's blood marks and so. So the zombies are intent upon you. So they sort of split their ranks at this point. Some of them turn around and look at where Saloni and Reg are. Some of them continue up the corridor towards where you are, Miles. 2 of them stop and the first one, even with misfortune, gets a 19.
I'll hit.
Are you ready to become a zombie? Are you ready for this amazing amount of
Let's
damage?
do it.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you sure you want this?
Yep.
1 point of damage. And the second zombie who attacks you misses. So you get these zombies, they come up and they're gnashing their teeth. They're trying to slam you, grab you. And it's just that sheer force of them pushing forwards that gives you a point of damage as it kind of just blunders into you. Turning around, there are 2 zombies that come backwards, I guess. Reg, one upon you.
So I get a,
That is
attack of opportunity for that?
14. They're kind of, you kind of landed, they just have to turn around because they're sort of
cool.
filling
You said
up.
came back? I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
thought you, yeah.
No, they just turn around, their attention comes back.
Cool.
That is a 14 to hit you and the one on Saloni misses.
Doesn't hit.
No, so I assumed that didn't. The greater threat here, though, is that it is a guy with a 2-handed axe. As you watch him, you can see the muscles on his arms grow. You can see him get angry as he wields his axe. He looks up.
At least there's
and
muscles on his arms.
I am rolling to see which one it hits. 1 or 2 to Saloni because she got there first. 3 and 4. Saloni is going to take the brunt of this hit. Oh.
Saloni in trouble.
Okay, so I just had to roll twice. The second time I rolled, I saw a poop.
Not a fumble.
The first time I rolled, I also saw a poop.
Oh.
You're going to take my flanking away now, aren't you?
He's got diarrhea.
Double down on the poop. That's a lot of dice. That's a lot more dice.
Yeah, but it's D4s, right?
No,
She's gone.
they're still rolling. I think you roll percentiles.
Saloni takes 29 points of
Oh,
damage
fucking hell.
as a raging half-orc barbarian slams his great axe straight down, rending straight through her collarbone. You see it bite deep into her chest and she falls limp at the floor, bleeding out. You can see blood squirting from her. She is down and she is in a bad, bad, bad way.
That is game over for Flopsy. That is one hit game over.
Do you know what I'm upset about?
It wasn't Flopsy.
I didn't power attack.
Oh,
I'm really
This
upset.
is-
Had I power attacked, that would have been amazing.
this is bad news. Let's take him out.
Sure, boss.
Yep. Just to clear the scenario for me, Justin, just so I've got it right in my brain. Miles surrounded by 4 Zobolds.
Zobolds. The Zobolds are in the corridor in front of Miles. So essentially there is a pack of Zobolds. There is Miles on one end of the pack. There is well, only Reg now that you can just see on the other side.
2 by 2?
They're 2 by 2 filling up the
Great.
entire
Okay.
corridor.
That's fine. I'll go up behind Miles and throw a flask, acid flask, at the back kobolds,
Okay.
Zobolds.
All right.
That is a touch attack.
Mm.
It's a pretty decent touch attack of 12.
12 is definitely going to hit their touch attack.
So what I've forgotten to do when I've been rolling these flasks that aren't my bombs is add the bonuses from my throw anything feat, which is my intelligence modifier on the splash damage.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So the guy that gets hit for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
All of the Zobolds around him would normally take 1 point, but if I add my intelligence modifier, that takes it to 5 points of damage to all of them.
So the splash damage is you just use the guys like a backboard and the splash
Bounce.
damage for everybody
Well,
around.
that's awesome. That's
They
actually
take
better than if you
5
just throw it at the
points.
wall.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane. So right now, of the 10 zombies, Zobolds that are in front of us, only one of them hasn't been damaged. Saloni bleeds out. She's bleeding on the floor and she is not moving. It does not look good at all.
Do you want a
for
dice
her.
roll? 7,
Thank you. Reg,
just in case.
Reg, you have a fallen companion that is next to you. From this point in time, it does not look good. Her wound is grievous, and it is not. You're not sure whether the moving that she's got is death throes or twitching or her just writhing in pain at this point in time.
Okay.
But you saw that hit, and that hit was nasty. How many hit points do you have, Reg?
Less than 29,
Yeah.
even when I'm fully healed.
Yeah, that was a nasty times 3 axe. That is horrible, horrible. A times 3 axe from a barbarian that's raging.
He
Sorry,
was
I'm
raging,
just checking
so
if
he's not
Rebuke
afraid.
Death automatically stabilizes the creature.
It's a heal, so any healing will stabilize.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so it's 1d4 points of healing, and does it automatically stabilizes?
You got to
it?
ask yourself though at this
Yeah,
point
no,
in
that's
time,
what exactly what I'm
is it
asking
worth
myself. That's
the
exactly what I'm asking
attack of
myself.
opportunity?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
worth you staying here? Like if that hit, I mean, it
no,
was
fair
a
enough. Yeah.
ridiculously
Cool.
good hit from this thing, but
I mean,
And here I am stuck in the middle with a corpse. Right.
stuck in the middle with a corpse.
Okay, I'm going to flurry on the old half orc. Half orc.
half orc.
Right, starting with the trip. That is for a grand total of 22 on a CM.
He is down.
Down,
You
so
take his legs from under him. He
As
falls
he
to
goes
the
down,
floor.
I vicious stomp for a 21.
21. Perfect.
Okay, so 2 points of damage. And then while he's down on the floor, I'm going to punch him in the face, squarely in the chops for a 19.
19 hits.
Oh, fuck me, for 2 points of damage.
It's still good.
So, having seen my compatriot bleeding out from quite a savage blow with the axe, not wanting to be stuck around to take the backswing off of that one, I've gone in and tripped him straight out, his both legs straight out, like a full sweeping action through. He's going down. As he's going down on his face, I give him a good kick in the back so he hits the floor as he goes down. Once he's done that, I give him a good smack to the back of the head.
Oh, nice. And he is on the floor, not being able to do too much. Miles, you watch this orc just drop from sight as he falls to the floor with a sea of Zobolds in front of you between you and him.
We need a t-shirt with that now.
Yep. Zobolds. Okay. Shit. I don't see Saloni or the half orc anymore. We're gonna have to get to him. I'm going to just misfortune the one right in front of me.
Sure.
At this point, you hear Reg go,
Just
Frenchie's down!
Just read that dice.
Oh, fail.
That is 19 plus will, which takes it above 20.
And cackle to extend the one that's still going.
Sure.
Ha 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 ha.
All right. And there is a kobold right in front of you that looks at you and is like, "Ugh." He's kind of, I assume he's racked and twitching a little bit.
How many more flasks do you have?
I've got 5 of those. I don't think the French one's going to make it if we keep doing this shenanigans, though. If only she'd retreated, like I said.
We just need to thin the crowd.
Zobold's turn. The Zobolds seeing you as a viable target, Miles. We're going to start at the two near you. The first one that was pre-misfortuned will attempt to roll twice. That's not going to hit even on that first roll that I know. It just tries to gnash at you, trying to take a bite out of you, and you just step out of the way. The one that you just attempted is going to also roll twice for reasons that you don't want to know. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Then it doesn't fumble.
Oh,
Turning around, Reg, 2 of the zombies that are now flanking with the barbarian. I'm not even sure if they would be if the barbarian's on the
Prone,
floor.
yeah.
I'm going to roll twice for reasons unknown. Does an 8 hit you?
You just used to rolling twice. An 8.
Yeah.
It does not.
That is a fumble from the first zombie as
Yes.
it turns around and tries to mac on you.
explode.
Justin's misfortune saves us.
Justin's natural misfortune event. That is a natural attack.
Natural attack twisted. You explode and destroy all your companions. A natural attack twisted. You become entangled in your gear until you spend a standard action to free yourself.
Okay, so the zombie itself just gets caught. It's one of
In
the
his watch
zombies with a
uniform.
spear that's been strapped to it in an element of fun. Like even and that's one of the other things that as these zombies got closer, someone's like drawn moustaches on them. Somebody's obviously had fun, but they all have written on them like guard or stupid guard or dumb city watch. Those kind of real negative aspersions.
Jeff.
And does a 13 hit you?
It does not.
It does not. Last but not least, we have a half-orc that's on the floor. This half-orc who is raging, who is angry, is just going to trust that he can get up. He doesn't give a rat's ass about this small halfling who's right next to him.
What
And
about
he
the big dragon that's
stands
coming?
straight up.
There's a big dragon coming still.
Does an 18 trip him?
He drops back to the floor.
Okay, vicious stomp again. Oh, natural 19 for a 25 then as
Oof.
he goes down. For 5 points of damage.
Get it, Reg.
Well done, Rich.
So he stands up. Reg is like, no, mate, that's not happening tonight. Out goes the foot. Smack in the face as he's going down.
Big
Nice.
Reg.
Because Reg is very conscious of this large head that you described.
Distended
Did you
something
describe
under
it
the hat.
distended?
Yeah. So the
I'm
hat.
very interested in that, so I'm going to focus my attacks.
He looks at you through bleeding teeth. You can see blood coming down from where you've socked him in the mouth now twice. And he says, "You may kill me, but you will not survive eventually. Skelsgig will eat your soul, and you will die, and you will make us stronger." And then he spits blood on the floor.
I can just like see it every time you like axe kick him, his head like bounding off the.
And he's not even perturbed. Like you've done a significant portion of damage to him, but he's not even worried about this. Like you can see absolutely zero shits being given about any threats that you might pose, that anyone poses around him. He is intent on destroying, and the destruction is you. Flopsy, it's your go.
That's a good name for you, Reggie Destruction.
I registered your destruction. No? Okay.
Flopsy's very concerned about Selene on the floor and that nothing's happening to her. So he's going to do the extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
And
Throw a bomb and give a splash damage.
he's going to acrobatics through the...
No!
What are you doing?
Oh.
She doesn't have
It
another
was
round.
going so well.
She does not have another round. He's going to use his move action to acrobatics through the
Okay, this is a ballsy maneuver from Flopsy.
18. Remember, one's got
Would you
tangled
like,
up.
Would you like to describe this, please?
So it literally...
You rolled an 18 or your score's an 18?
a total 18 on the acrobatics.
Cool. Oh, cool.
So he's literally walking through them with his hands in the air going, oh, nope, and just sliding out the way, trying not to, walk through a clothesline that's all wet, but not trying not to get hit like that. Gets to the other side, quick draws a vial.
Before you get there, I'm just going to stop you there because, and you see this very keenly, Miles, because you watch Flopsy walk past you. Flopsy sidles past the zombie that is has been misfortuned, moves past the second row of zombies, gets to the third row of zombies, and boom, just sort of stops in the middle of that area. You can see that he's getting pushed all the way back to where right beside you, and we're going to resolve what happens to you next time.
Third row of zombies. I didn't even see them.
I just have this image now of Flopsy.
What?
I thought it was 2 by 2.
Of them.
Like a waiter with a tray of drinks. Just kind of like, la, 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 la.
plus twos.
Yeah, the plus two. And that's a tricky one because
Cool.
Good morrow, mystery wizards and wand-wielding wankers.
Right, you're out.
keep going, keep going.
It's a knockout.
And welcome to Fumble Through.
Fumble through. This is the hard bit. The bit after the
I
fumble
don't
through is
know
the
what you
hard
do
bit.
next. Today we are playing
No, our podcast.
a podcast that plays RPGs.
A podcast that pulls the teeth out of all of the jaws.
Better. Did you say that because you're
Yep.
reading the word Jaws
Just
here
look,
on my
see it and say it.
I wonder what Brett was role playing like. Brett role plays like Kaiser Soze.
Nice.
A podcast
That's
that puts all the clay in Harry
That's a-
Potter.
That's a good joke. Good joke.